trick boxes. I am going to use Midnight Tales by Graphic 45. This is so beautiful paper collection and so fun to work with because the images are just gorgeous. The colors are really bright, and I mean, I am in love with these papers. I love it. And I already made different projects, and that's the idea, to show you how many things can you do with just one collection. So to make this, we are going to need, this is from Patterns and Solids, okay, and this piece of paper measures 12 by 5 3/4. Okay, now on the 12th side we need to score at, let me find it here, at 4, one scoring line, 5 3/4, 9 3/4, and 11.5. Then I am going to turn here in this way because this is going to be my top side. That's important because this paper has the spider running down, so I don't want this in this way. I mean, that's important. Now here I am going to make another scoring line. Well, you can make it here or in this way. If you choose this, it's going to be at 4. But what is important is to be sure where is the direction of the paper. Okay, well, this is going to be the base, I mean the house. Now I'm going to tell you what are we going to need. We will be working with this in a moment. For the roof, we need this piece that measure 6 by 2.5, and I am going to score at 3 inches here in the center, in this way. To make this, because this is just a piece of paper and I was thinking so much how am I going to do it to be able and leave this on the place, I mean, because this is just a piece of paper. Well, we are going to need some hinges, and I use just regular black cardstock. Actually, this is a leftover. I used to keep all the little pieces because you can use them later for this. We need 2 pieces that measure, no, 4, sorry, 1 by 2.5, and of course we will be scoring at a half inch. I'm sorry, I don't know what I am thinking. And we just need to make our hinges. Then we are going to need 2 more that measure 1 by 2 3/4. And here in the short side, of course, we will score at a half an inch. But then in the long side, we will be scoring at a half and 2.25. Okay, so we will do this and then this as well as this, like so. Okay, these 2 pieces. Now for the front of the door and the front side, I am going to make another kind of roof to cover the door. So we need this piece of paper that measure 1 3/4 by 5. In this side with the 5 here, I am going to score at 2.5. Then I will turn this and I will be scoring at a half and at 1 1/4. Okay, for now I think this is all the scoring lines we need to make, but this is not all the paper that we are going to need. And now I am going to tell you what's next, because I am inking everything with walnut stain first and then with black soot. Okay, I'm using both distress inks because I like how this is going to look. Okay, well, now let's start with this piece. I have here scored the 4 and then 1 3/4. So what I am going to do is in this side I'm going to mark here all these scoring lines because it's going to be easier to make the next marks. Here is the other one. Where are you? Here. And of course we need this flap. Okay, now with my ruler I am going to find the center in the biggest panels. We have 2 big panels that measure 4 inches and 2 that measure 1 3/4, and the flap to stick all together. Okay, so in the small, not small, the big ones, the 4-inch panels, I am going to find my center, which is 2, as well as in this side. Where is here? And I am just making a tiny mark. I think it's not going to be easier to watch because in the camera, but you can see it in your own paper. Now from the top to the bottom I'm going to make another mark at 1.5, 1.5 here, and 1.5 in the opposite side. Okay, now we are going to join these 2 long lines in this way. And now we are going to join these 2 marks with this corner and this corner because we want to make a triangle. All right, I think it's not going to be so easy to watch, but I think you are watching here 1 line, here, 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 and here, as well as here. Okay, I am going to remove here, 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 and all of this. Can you see all the X? I'm going to use a marker, a black marker. Remove here all of this. I don't want it to mark because these pieces can be useful later, but I want you to see. Okay, so now it's time to cut. Okay, now we need to make the door that is going to open here. We have the flap to glue it in this right side, so in the first big panel, not in this one, it's going to be the door. So I'm going to turn it again to the back, and from the bottom here in the floor I will take more measurements, 1.5 from this side to the center, as well as from the right. Now from the bottom to the top again we will make a mark at 1.5. Okay, and here when we make a scoring line, you can see here there is a maybe 1/16 of an inch, a kind of gap that is marked in the scoring line. Well, I am just going to cut on top, I mean in the front. I don't want this to be here. I want it here. So open. Yes, now we are just going to align here the ruler, and with the hand we can just mark here in one side, and then it's going to be easier to open to the other side. Okay, now what's next? I am going to ink all the edges, everything. Well, let me explain you. With this piece, it's going to be outside of here, in on top of the door. So I'm going to cut, let me see, the paper direction. This is going to be my front. Well, here I'm going to make these two cuts, and here just in the center. Okay, like so. Now I can distress everything. I hope you can see it. Here I have in this way, and this is my front, so this will be here in this way. I'm going to ink everything, and then we will continue assembling the house box. I am just inking, and I forgot to tell you that we need to cut here. Let me explain, and let's do this first, and then we can continue. Here is this flap, so I'm going to cut here and here in an angle, in this way. Now here I am going to cut in an angle in both at the two sides of the scoring line, but just a little bit, okay, not too much. We don't need to cut too much. Okay, so now I'm going to score ink everything, also here, also here, every scoring line. It's important to ink it because then that is going to give it more depth. Okay, and I am come back. Okay, I ink everything, and I forgot to tell you, I cut a tiny piece of paper. You can use any scrap in the color that you want, because I want to cover the door to make more interest here. But before I stick this piece, I'm going to use a brad, a black brad, as a handle to open the door. And now you just need to put the brad whatever you want, and then we are going to be ready to add this door, the door, to cover with this contrasting color the door. Okay, I don't want to push so much the brad, because if this is a little bit loose here in the outside, it's going to be easy to take this to open the door, of course. Oh no, before I stick this, let me do something else. With a scrap of vellum paper, I just ink it with the two same inks, because I want to put here this in the back, because then you can add a tea light inside. This is going to be a treat box, but also you can add a tea light to decorate your table or whatever you want to use it, the door. Here it's going to be this to open it. Just be sure this is a stick here where we have the brad, because now we can pull this, and here you can see we have the balloon on the back. Okay, when this is ready, now I just cut this strip is from the 8 by 8 paper pack, because I want to add here, and I want to align this corner here with this edge. Now for the back, I cut this is from the 8 by 8. Let me show you the paper that I choose is here. This strip is here, and I just cut this three because I made three. I am going to show you the other two because it's one for me and one for each one of my kids. So I cut these three. Of course, I cut these stamps because they are so adorable. I love them. And I add a piece of black. This is the back, one side, the other, the front, and here we can open the tiny door. It's so cute. Okay, now let me, this flap on the front, it's the flap that is going to be on top of the rest, so I want to ink everything. Now what else? Well, the decoration is going to be at the end. Okay, this is my front. Okay, I'm going to put it in this way. This will be here, this will be on top, and this will be in this way. You see, it finishes here. So we just need I will be using a piece of a thin layer in this chipboard. This measure 1 3/4 by 3 7/8 to put it here inside. All right, now, oh, it's so cute. I love this. Let's work with this piece that is going to be here. Remember, we add this diagonal here. This is going to be to attach it here, but here in this two we will be adding some glue and add some ink here. Okay, now that we have this ready, we will let this apart for a moment because now we are going to make the roof. And here, because we add these strips as well as this piece, I don't know why the paper goes to the outside, so I am just going to try to move it in this way. Okay, well, let's work with the roof. We are going to make some measurements, and I suggest you make your marks not too close to the edges. Okay, this is 2.5 inches wide, so we will add one mark at 3/4 of an inch, no, 3/4, 3/8 of an inch in both sides. Okay, 3/8 of an inch in both sides. It's not easy to watch because the paper, it's almost the same color, the same shades as the pencil, but now we are going to join and make a line in both sides. If I can find it, here is one, here is the other one. Yes. Why we made these lines? Well, because now we are going to add the hinges, but before we add it, it's important to check if they fit here inside, like so. Okay, if this is too long, you need to cut and adjust at this size. So we are going to align it from the center to the side, exactly where we made the line. Okay, I know it's not easy to watch here because it's almost the same color, but you can do it carefully. And now this is going to be here in the same line, but now in this side we will be opening. These are the 4 inches that we have that measure 1 by 2.5. Now we have these two other one, remember? Well, what I am going to do is to make some cuts. Here I am just going to cut in a tiny angle like this. Now here and here, the same in the other side. And now we are going to add some glue here. Let me see, because this is not straight here. In this short side we are going to add the glue, and we are going to align this in this edge. Okay, and of course these flaps are going to be here. Align it with the scoring line, and that's one. Now we are going to do the same here. All right, now we need to add a tiny drop of glue in these little flaps, because this needs to make here a 90 degrees angle, as well as this side. And now here we have the roof ready, because now this will be fitting here inside. You can see it here, but we need to be sure it is inside. Oh, this is not inside. Okay, now we have is ready, and I am watching a little white here. Okay, now we need to add this piece here. Okay, I'm going to see how much space I need. 1.25. It's going to be easier if I do it here. 1.25, something like so. 1.25 from here to here, of course. Let me put that. Now we can stick this piece here, and we will try to align it with this piece. And press with your finger carefully, because you don't want to tear the paper. And now here I am going to use some of these spider webs. These are thin Holtz, and because this is going to be in this side, I will remove here a little bit, and with my fingernail I am just going to bend a little bit here. here they are. This is the one that I made with you. I add this spider. It's covered with a crackle accents by Ranger, and you already watched me adding the wing of Stella Black. There is the light, tea light inside, and this is one. Then the first one that I made was this. I used this green paper as my base. I added a bat here. Of course, there is also a tea light inside, running inside there. And here is the spider as well, one of the stickers. You see, these are so cute and easy to make, perfect for the kids in your family if you celebrate Halloween. But I am already thinking in a village for Christmas with this beautiful, well, the Christmas paper. This is the other one. I use some dimensional, the black chipboard here and here. This is from the sticker. I don't have a tea light here inside yet, but I will buy another one just now. This is